Hi everyone, it's worth going over some crypto news. There's some headlines out there and then the market's moving a little bit here. So thought I'd put this video together to kind of dive into what's happening. We're going to cover a range of topics though. We're going to talk about what's new at DAiM, some exciting stuff there. Talk about a publicly traded company and what they're doing with Bitcoin. We're going to go into a bit of price forecast and what talking heads are saying out there about the price. We're also going to dive into what whales have been doing. And then it's also worth, talking a bit about the price. Like I mentioned earlier, there's been some movement there. Okay, DAiM, what's new? Well, when the company was started 2017 into 2018, the physical office was in Newport Beach, California, over by Fashion Island. That will continue to be the place. We are now going to open an office over in Palm Beach to help us serve our East Coast clients and to expand in that vertical over there. So really exciting stuff. We have clients that do want to come in when you want to move a significant amount into digital assets. Sometimes you want to meet someone in person. If you have assets at Coinbase, it could be hard to get a hold of somebody. They definitely don't have a phone number and they might not answer your email. And something else to think, they might not be able to set you up with beneficiaries. So what happens if a loved one, something happens to them and those coins can't get passed down or it's in probate? This could be a really difficult process. So us over at DAiM, we do wealth management for digital assets, and this is all part of our service. And that goes all the way from creating things like trust, making sure that there's beneficiaries, to also running our managed model portfolio on top of these assets for our clients. And just to give you reference, it's a really long only theme, fundamentally driven, and it's outperformed a Bitcoin buy and hold by 476% over the 6-year track record where we've been managing money. Okay, so that's exciting news about us. If you guys want to come by the office and meet us, we should be having that address up here in about the next month or so and where that location will be. Okay, talking about the price, it looks like the price of Bitcoin kind of rolled over a little bit here the second half of the day. And people are wondering why, especially when the ECB and Canada dropped rates by 25 basis points. Many were thinking that the United States was going to follow suit. It actually kind of looks like this is triggered by Gamestop, maybe. The players in Gamestop, these short-term swing traders, everybody following Roaring Kitty, are also people that are in meme stocks and in Bitcoin. And so GameStop looks like it's down about 25% here. And so as these guys get liquidated, they might need some cash and they're needing to sell Bitcoin to cover some of these positions. And that might be just what's going on here in the short-term swing of things. Okay, to dive more into Bitcoin, you're probably going to see more narrative come around calling it digital property. And that's a great term for it. Before it was digital gold, right? Okay, that works, but gold's old. Cryptocurrencies, yes, it is of that form for the cryptography part. On the currency side, it'd be better to talk about things like Tether. And so an alternative store of value, this digital property, is a great way to look at it. It's like real estate. There's a scarcity to it, and people kind of understand it that way. It's digital property out there, in the globe of the internet. And so the IRS back in 2014 was very early on, because our government wants to make sure that it collects taxes. It went and it said that Bitcoin is treated as property. So like real estate. This was 2014. They were early on doing it, and it's still that way today. And so that terminology seems to make sense. So be on the lookout. That's probably going to be happening more and more. Okay, so what are talking heads saying out in the space about Bitcoin and where it's going to be? Well, for a while with clients, we thought that there was going to be a clear breakthrough above 80,000. We put that out, and we were saying that was going to happen back in May. It's a bit behind in that, but could definitely happen June or July. Many of the talking heads are saying 83,000, which is interesting, and that now is a technical level. We did think that we were going to see some resistance at that level for some time. Just seems like the way that people's mentality of where they want to take some profits is just there above 80,000. You get these mental anchors where people are like, oh, I'm going to sell at 85,000 or I'm going to sell at 100,000. But in reality, profits are usually taken a little bit before those marks. And so 83,000 does look to be a level of resistance, but where people think it's going. Arthur Hayes has been back and forth, but now he's pretty bullish and saying get long and push things up. And so we'll see where that goes with him. But overall, we're still in a great environment for Bitcoin here. Okay, back to publicly traded companies. Semler Scientific, They're a publicly traded company and they added Bitcoin to their balance sheet, and they came out and they said they want to add more. Now, why would a company want to do this? Well, yes, there's the MicroStrategy playbook, and look at that stock, right? Basically a leverage play on Bitcoin. Now, we don't recommend doing this and buying those as a leverage play for Bitcoin. We do think being in the pure asset has enough return as it is, or something like our model portfolio. But we could see more companies do this. And why? Well, if you're a publicly traded company in the tech space, software space, it's competitive out there, and you might not be able to compete against Google, Microsoft, Facebook, right? And AI is just dominating out there, and you got NVIDIA doing what it's doing. And so but you have cash on the balance sheet, and what are you going to do with it? You're going to buy back your own stock. You got it in treasuries. Well, why not try some Bitcoin, right? It's a better alternative store of value for the cash that you have. And then that might give you some more capital in the future for R&D and then to improve your business. So we might see more of this, and it would come from companies in the smaller end of these indexes, right? The guys at the bottom part of the NASDAQ listing, because all the returns have really been by the Fantastic Four, and the top four and the FANG and NVIDIA have been pushing up the stock market, but the bottom part has not really moved. In fact, those stocks have mainly been down. So the board of directors are looking at what they could do, and here's a playbook from MicroStrategy that could be deployed to possibly, help reinforce the balance sheet and then give them some additional runway in the future. Okay, something else to note that we follow is Bitcoin whales, and we write about this periodically. We follow one whale in particular, so you can subscribe to our newsletter and see that, and then you can look at past issues where we covered this. What's been shown is that over the past 30 days, large Bitcoin whales have added 70,000 units of Bitcoin. This is very bullish. It's an increase of over 4.4% month over month. They were adding at the beginning of the year. We saw that right with the Bitcoin ETF, and then it kind of got quiet where they stopped adding. They actually sold some end of February into March and April. They were unloading, and it looks like now they're starting to add again. And so this could be a good setup for a run up in prices. And history's shown that Bitcoin's been quiet in the summer, but I think times are different now, especially with the Bitcoin ETF that allows institutional players and professional traders that might have had restrictions before on spot Bitcoin to easily get in and out of the market. And where they want to be early into something, they don't necessarily need to be 100% right, and they also don't need a 2-3x return. They're good with something in the 20 to 40% range on a short-term swing, so they might start buying this sooner. All right, everyone, it's been nice talking to you. I hope you enjoy, and talk to you next time.